Some say a definition of madness is doing the same thing and expecting different results. I wonder how Pfizer can be condemned so many times in a court of law and none of us ever hear about it and still expect Pfizer to be kind of saviors. Their products are dubious, they market them in extraordinary ways, and it even potentially does damage to children. Why aren't more people talking about this? Because everyone's corrupt? Oh yeah. Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Thanks for joining us on our voyage to truth and freedom. If you want to support our movement, be part of it, get an additional exclusive video every single week. Simply use the code ISURRENDER to get 1 month free as a member of our Awakened Wonder Club gang. Eventually, we'll become an independent political party, but for now, it's a free video and the opportunity to join Roseanne Barr for a fireside chat. And in this crazy world, that sounds to me like a better version of sanity. Now, if you're one of those people who from the beginning of the pandemic period, other than the very, very beginning bit where it was like, oh my God, what's going on? This is mental, this is insane, started to have questions about the origins of the virus, the nature of the proposed solution, the extraordinary quality of hysteria that appeared to accompany the revelation that there was a vaccine and its extraordinarily fast clinical trial time, the judgment and condemnation of people who were non-compliant, the tendency towards censorship that was prevalent on social media, the dishonesty about the degree of that censorship, all the while the pretense that everyone was doing this for our own good. If you're one of those people who has those kind of questions and had those kind of suspicions, then you will be astonished to learn that Pfizer have been found guilty of malpractice and fined what I would call a minuscule amount for that malpractice. Essentially, they were saying the Pfizer vaccine was effective too early before it was licensed. So let's get into this story and also look at the extraordinary fact that some of the results when they were testing on children are a little troubling. Let's get into it.
In summer of 2020, Stephanie DeGarry and her family learned an important clinical trial was about to be launched at nearby Cincinnati Children's Hospital. It would test Pfizer's experimental COVID-19 vaccine on 12 to 15-year-olds to see if it was safe and effective. The DeGarrys, firmly pro-vaccine, didn't hesitate to let their children take part. Among 3 siblings, 12-year-old Maddie alone was chosen to get 2 doses of Pfizer's vaccine rather than a harmless placebo.
As a parent, and any parents watching this, the idea that they had no hesitation about allowing their kids to participate in a clinical trial of any description actually shows you the type of climate we were living in at that time, that it was seen, I presume, as heroic and brave and necessary and socially conscientious. Now that we know that if you are vaccinated, you can still spread the disease, it doesn't seem as heroic, does it? It seems like people that participated in trials were to some degree or another duped. We haven't watched this news broadcast in its entirety, but I'm imagining this family haven't gone on the news to say how they don't regret their decision at all and how it's worked out fantastic and great for them and they love Pfizer more than ever. Indeed, Andrew Bridgen, British Member of Parliament, kicked out of his own party and widely condemned, who is now a maverick outsider, and God knows we need more of them, posted this: "Neither safe nor effective after all. Who would have thought that?" And it's in response to a post saying, "Breaking from the UK, in a ruling under the UK's Code of Conduct, Pfizer has been found guilty of bringing discredit to the pharmaceutical industry in the UK, the most serious breach there is under the UK Code of Practice rules." That's a different story and a different problem, but why would we be surprised that the pharmaceutical industry are not heroic? Remember the opioid crisis. Remember, this is a large global corporation. These are not your parents, they're not your friends, they're not saviors. And the time where people get Pfizer tattooed on their bodies is done and it's over. I notice now that talk show hosts are not doing parades and songs, and people aren't saying that Anthony Fauci is great anymore, are they? No, people are asking questions about Anthony Fauci's knowledge of Wuhan Institute of Virology's experimentation and relationships with American firms when it came to experiments that seem eerily similar to the COVID-19 virus. We'll get more into that story in our stream over the course of coming weeks, but for now it seems that there is mounting evidence that Pfizer should never have been trusted. Why are their fines so minuscule even when they are judged to have behaved badly, and why did we ever put our children in a vulnerable position when we knew what we were dealing with, surely?
Her second dose was January 20th of 2021. That night, in the middle of the night, that's when it all started. So it was maybe, let's just say 12 hours after her second dose.
What kinds of things did she wake up with, or was she suffering?
Now, obviously, what's happened here is this child has become sick, and we know that some children have died. So obviously, this is an incredibly serious, devastating, and awful story. One of those stories that needs to be brought to as larger audience as possible. But of course, the kind of story that for a long time was censored. Remember, at the height of this pandemic, you were not allowed to criticize these vaccines. You were not allowed to question these vaccines. There are still things that are true that you cannot say on social media platforms. Spend a moment reflecting on why that might be. If some other product was harming children, if some individual was harming children, wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you expect your government, your media, your politicians to be heavily involved in ensuring that you had all of the information possible to understand the serious threat that was being posed? You would expect that, wouldn't you? So why is it not happening? That's a big question.
She had what she described as electrical shocks going up and down her spine. She said she felt like her heart was being ripped out. So chest pain, she had severe abdominal pain. She was hunched over when she walked through the door.
She should be shamed. This child should be shamed. People that don't get vaccinated should be shamed, and people that get vaccinated and complain should be shamed. Like this child, saying that the vaccine appeared to be having some impact on her heart. Someone should do some clinical trials on myocarditis and pericarditis and see if these vaccines are in any way connected to that, and if the spike protein does indeed stay at the site or migrates to the tissues around the heart. Someone should investigate that. There's going to be a lot of questions, and those questions will be asked very, very quietly in corners of online independent media, because legacy media will manage this information conveniently and appositely. I wonder who their biggest financial and commercial partners are.
CNN Tonight, brought to you by Pfizer.
Did you think right away that this was probably a vaccine reaction?
100%. There was nothing wrong with her prior to that.
Before long, Maddie lost feeling in her legs. Here, she's scooting on the floor and using her hands to lift her legs. DeGarry says she was shocked when the lead study doctor offered no help. She found herself reluctantly following the advice of physicians who insisted Maddie's paralysis, seizures, passing out, all of it were caused by anxiety.
What this probably is anxiety, or, let me think, did you vote for Trump? Do you like Trump? Can I ask this are you racist? I think this could be racism.
I'm embarrassed how much I was brainwashed and believed them. She did cognitive behavioral therapy, which is seeing a psychologist.
We can't continue to bring you this potentially paradigm-shattering information without the support of our sponsors. We got one for you right now. Stay to the end, please. Is it me, or does the future feel more insecure and uncertain? Wars, pandemics, lies, trickery. For those of you that are in the United States, there is a way to secure your hard-earned nest egg. American Hartford Gold makes it easy to protect your savings and retirement accounts with physical gold and silver. With one phone call, they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or inside a qualifying retirement account like your IRA or 401k. American Hartford Gold is the highest rated firm in the United States with an A+ rating from the BBB, that's the Better Business Bureau, and thousands of satisfied clients right now. They'll give you up to $10,000 of free silver on your first qualifying order. This offer, I'm sorry to tell you, is only for customers from the United States of America. Call 866-505-8315. That's 866-505-8315. Or simply text BRAND to 998899. Then they'll know we sent you. Get up to $5,000 in silver and protect your future in this crazy, crazy world with some solid precious metals, literally made in stars. Now let's get back to the content.
At what point did you think to yourself, I've tried what they said. I know my daughter's not suffering a psychological event?
I always had in the back of my mind, I knew that it wasn't.
That's some serious gaslighting right there, isn't it? I mean, that tells you to a degree what the ethics and morality of these organisations are. Someone allows their child to participate in a clinical trial, which is, by the way, supposed to be to assess and adjudicate as to whether or not these drugs are dangerous, rather than just steamrolling it into production. Oh yeah, we'll do the clinical trials. Can we borrow your kids for a minute? Hey, my kids got heart problems and can't feel their feet. Oh, will you shut up? We're trying to launch a product. Can't you get behind this? We've worked so hard to buy BioNTech, which was funded by German taxpayer money. Have you any idea how difficult hostile takeovers are? Can you just shut up? Are you still listening? Well, actually, no. My daughter's being sick. Oh, moan, moan, moan. Get in your basket of deplorables and shut your mouth, you racist.
When she was in her hospital stay in April, they treated her horribly. Like, they treated her like a crazy person. And at that point, I knew. Plus, she wasn't getting better.
Oh my God, that's actually disturbing, isn't it? Out of control, man. I don't think we'd be going there on this video.
Maddie was rushed to the ER 9 times. By the time she was hospitalized for the 3rd time, she had heart problems, seizures, was passing out, vomiting, unable to swallow, and was fed through a tube.
No wonder they censored this stuff so vehemently and so aggressively, because, again, any parent or basically anyone who loves someone would know that if that happened to someone that you cared about and loved, you'd be doing a lot more than going to local news media. You'd be looking for serious retribution and serious solutions. And we should perhaps take a moment to recognise that what is being demonstrated here is a total lack of regard for our humanity, for our well-being and our health. Remember, this was all undergirded by we've got to help one another. Just remember, if you don't get vaccinated, you're killing the elderly, you're selfish, what's wrong with these people? And they politicised it. They turned it into an issue. They were hysterical while pretending that the hysteria was elsewhere, almost a textbook definition of gaslighting. And when you hear how that mother was treated, you can see that that's just their practice. That's what they do. In a sense, you can use this story, you can use the footage of this little girl struggling and suffering as a result of this, what I conceive to be malpractice, and how ridiculous it is that I'm the one that has to be careful with my words now. Not Pfizer, me, you, ordinary people that are trying to have conversations about this stuff. We can see what they think about us, we can see what they feel about us, and surely we are beginning to understand in our hearts, if our hearts remain strong, what we must do.
She was in the hospital that time for a month and a half. Studies are conducted to identify and investigate any health risks. Maddie's reaction was a giant red flag for Pfizer's vaccine. But the DeGarys say those involved seem more interested in blaming Maddie's illnesses on anything but the obvious culprit.
Of course they are. Wouldn't a proper response be, oh my God, this girl's gotten ill. This is terrible. We're so sorry. Here's some massive compensation. Stop the vaccine rollout immediately. It seems that there's a risk and we have to explore this risk. You've seen the graphs of how significant the data is, and we, all of us, are gaslit to within an inch of our lives by a compliant media, a greedy corporatist state, into believing that sort of nothing really went on. But something as evocative as the image of that suffering young woman shows you exactly what went on. A massive, irresponsible land grab, money grab, coup at least. And one becomes more sympathetic, I imagine, to the more nefarious and esoteric theories that surround what's behind this thing, because when you see results like that, it makes you wonder what ethical and moral position the perpetrators must stand in.
While Maddie was fighting for her life, the FDA granted emergency use of Pfizer's vaccine for kids as young as age 12, based on the study Maddie took part in.
Oh my God. We've seen the results of the study. This product is, quiet please, is brilliant and effective. Just take the tube out. This is a fine product. I don't know what's wrong with you. You are a bad mother for a start. And she's going, cuckoo. So there you go. That's what you're dealing with. And if that were all, it would be sufficient, wouldn't it? If you remember that the entire MO and animating thesis of the vaccination during an epidemic program was, we have to do this to protect other people. Almost they were on the precipice of saying, if it saves just one life, you having these multiple shots and booster shots, it's worth it, isn't it? No matter that excess deaths since the vaccine period seems to have mysteriously and curiously dramatically risen, not gone down, gone up. That, you might think, to people genuinely interested in science and data, be a significant piece of information. No, all of that information was ignored in favourable of what was the common thread. Oh yeah, it seemed the information that allowed people to make money and make rules was favoured over all other information. Well, what does that tell you? Having taken from the trials that young woman, girl, participated in that everything was great and fantastic and there's full steam ahead with the vaccine program, similarly, they were posting, and I say they, I mean Pfizer, were posting on social media, hey, this vaccine, it's bang on gear, good for everyone, young and old, come one, come all, in spite of the fact that it hadn't been licensed at that point. Pfizer has been accused by the UK's pharmaceutical watchdog of bringing discredit on the industry after senior executives used social media to promote an unlicensed COVID vaccine. The company has been found to have breached the regulatory code 5 times, which also includes making misleading claims, failing to maintain high standards, and promoting unlicensed medicines. A ruling by the pharmaceutical watchdog, the Prescription Medicines Code of Practice Authority, PMCPA, relates to a complaint about a message posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, in November 2020 by senior Pfizer employees. The complaint raised concerns about Pfizer's misuse of social media to misleadingly and illegally promote their COVID vaccine, according to the ruling. They claimed that such misbehaviour on social media was even more widespread than they had thought and extended right to the top of their UK operation. So what you can conclude perhaps from that is that what happened to young Maddie there was not an entirely isolated incident, but the result of an institutional attitude and agenda to get that product out as quickly as possible, regardless of the results of clinical trials, making untrue claims, pushing a product for, it seems, reasons other than help people. It doesn't seem that help people was utmost in the minds of these senior executives that prior to license were promoting this as an effective vaccine. And just remember how your government that you pay for, that you fund, facilitated that. Remember that your media, whether it's state or corporate, promoted those measures, beyond promoted it, generated a state of hysteria where anyone that was like, I'm not sure about taking that, was regarded as a sort of enemy of the people. Well, who is the real enemy of the people here? Watch once more the footage of that young suffering individual and reflect who are the villains in this piece. The complaint centered on a social media post on X by Dr. Berkeley Phillips, the medical director of Pfizer UK. He shared a post from an employee of Pfizer in the US which said, our vaccine candidate is 95% effective in preventing COVID-19 and 94% effective in people over 64 years old. We will file all of our data with health authorities within days. Thank you to every volunteer in our trial and to all those who are tirelessly fighting this pandemic. And also thank you to some of those that are tirelessly fighting the consequences of participating in the trial. Will you be posting all of that data? 4 other Pfizer employees, including one senior colleague, published the same message. The PMCPA ruling noted that this message contained limited information about the vaccine's efficacy, no safety information, and no reference to these adverse events. It went on to say that the social media post resulted in an unlicensed medicine being proactively disseminated on Twitter to health professions and members of the public in the UK. Yes, you can imagine people saying, indeed people did say at the time, no, the clinical trials are very effective. It's been proven to be 95% effective in da-da-da-da-da. Don't you remember how we sort of all curiously missed that no one mentioned that it wasn't preventing transmission, that it hadn't been trialled against transmission until a conversation revealed that that was the position. Then we were gaslit again. We never told you that it was going to be good for transmission. What was all the rhetoric around don't go see your grandma unless you've had the vaccine, unless it was preventing transmission? Why were a number of people in senior political positions continuing to socialise while the rest of the world was locked down? Why are we refusing to reach the conclusions that all of this information and the image of the suffering person there points to so plainly? That we have been conned, that we have been duped, that this is a litmus test of the morality of the individuals that are very quick to shut down dissenting voices, that claim a position of superiority, that suggest to us that these problems can be solved within the parliamentary or congressional democratic systems that create these problems. How long can we continue to be obedient to this corruption? A Pfizer UK spokesman said that the company fully recognises and accepts the issues highlighted by this PMCPA ruling, adding that it's deeply sorry. Oh, well, that's the end of it then. Thanks for the apology. Well, you know, I can't go holding a grudge. Did you pass on the apology to the parents of that little girl? So that's cool. That's all dealt with then. Phew. They said Pfizer UK has a comprehensive policy on personal use of social media in relation to Pfizer's business, which prohibits colleagues from interacting with any social media related to Pfizer's medicines and vaccines, backed by staff briefings and training. Essentially, they're apologising here for a technicality. They're not apologising for adverse events. They're not apologising for enormous profits. They're not apologising for corruption or deception because, well, none of those things have been proven in a court. What this amounts to is, drat, you got us on that one. Do we get to keep the billions and billions and billions of dollars of profit? Of course you do. We're going to fine you. And what was that? It's such a low number, it doesn't even qualify as a number. We just got one of our mouses to shout into this tape recorder. What should the fine be? Oh, okay, well, you can have that. The personal use of social media by UK pharmaceutical industry employees in relation to company business is a challenging area for pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, is it a challenge for you guys? Oh, I'm so sorry. In which we continue to take all the appropriate steps that are reasonably expected of a pharmaceutical company. This is the world we live in now. We live in a managerial, bureaucratic, sanitized, banalized culture that just uses sort of odd, anodizing language to mask the fact that something really serious has happened. Really serious. That's why occasionally there'll be an event like, Aaron Bushnell sets himself on fire over the conflict in Palestine. Let's use those words. Or you see that girl spasming in anguish. Occasionally an image will come and tell you, uh-oh, something's going really, really wrong. And out it comes, seeping into your mind like a fog. The banalizing, bureaucratic, Kafkaesque language that invites you to deny the evidence of your own eyes, the feelings of your own heart, and what you've begun to understand in your own mind, that you are living in a very, very corrupt system indeed. As part of their response to the ruling, Pfizer said it had launched a review into its employees' use of social media platforms to ensure compliance with their own rules as well as the regulatory code. What we've done, and it's a big step, is we're asking everyone that works at Pfizer, and there's a lot of people that works at Pfizer because we got a lot of money. When you're using social media, could you please just be careful? And hopefully that'll stop us being embarrassed in this way again as we continue to make significant profits by near mandating products. We're going to make sure that people don't, shit post after 11 p.m. when they've had a few celebratory drinks because of their bonuses. It's the 6th time Pfizer has been reprimanded by the regulator over its promotion of the COVID-19 vaccine. Well, it's obviously not working, is it? Keep reprimanding them. It's not doing it. Do something else. And now, to finally make clear to you that we will not tolerate this, Pfizer, it's a 7th minuscule fine. How much? Hold on, where's the amount? It's... So, pay up. It's the 6th time Pfizer has been reprimanded by the regulator over its promotion of the COVID-19 vaccine. 6 times they've been for that. Excuse me, you can't actually say that. You keep saying that your unlicensed vaccine is 95% effective and it doesn't have adverse effects. Sorry, no, that's terrible. We won't do that again. What we meant to say, should we try again? Please. Our vaccine is 95% effective and has no adverse effects. No, you've done it again, look. Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, there's a fine, look. Little fine, so don't do it. Absolutely. No, sorry, it won't happen again. So, see you then. All right, bye. You put the phone down first. No, you put the phone down first. Bye. Our vaccine is 95% effective and has no adverse... Sorry, was you talking? No, I was just talking to my mum. 95% effective. No adverse effects. What was that? Nothing. Have a good trip over there. Stay safe. Stay safe out there, yeah? Okay. 6 feet apart. Wear a mask. 95% effective. Here, there's your money. Have one on me. You do one. One ruling by the watchdog. It's not a very good watchdog. It's a bit of a toothless watchdog. Excuse me, you keep saying that it's 95% effective, but watchdog here. Oh, that's wrong. You can't say that. Okay, watchdog, here's a goddamn bone. Okay, keep going. One ruling by the watchdog from November 2022 found that Pfizer's chief executive made misleading statements about children's vaccines. Kind of misleading when they said it was safe and didn't have adverse side effects, for example. You've misled us a bit there. Following a complaint from the campaign group Us for Them, the PMCPA found that Pfizer had misled the public, made unsubstantiated claims, and failed to present information in a balanced way. 3 of the other Pfizer cases related to LinkedIn posts. One related one was about claims made in a press release, and one was about posts on X. For the most recent series of breaches, they have to do their breaches in like a mini-series now, like they're releasing them all at once, like The Crown. Here's some breaches, boom, they all drop. You can binge pay these fines. For the most recent series of breaches, Pfizer was charged administrative costs of $34,800. Look, we would like to not fine you anything, but even for us to regulate some of these breaches, we've had to pay people. The watchdog's got to be paid, don't you? I wouldn't mind a few pennies here and there. So $34,000. Okay, I didn't even hear that number. Just take the hit. Take a few blank ones. You can fill those in yourself. 95% effective. No adverse side effects. Ben Kingsley, not that one. No. The head of legal affairs at Us for Them said, I'm sorry I played Gandhi. He said, it's astonishing how many times Pfizer's senior executives have been found guilty of serious regulatory offences, in this case including the most serious offence of all under the UK Code of Practice. That's the worst thing they can do. That's the most serious one. Saying that a licensed product is 95% safe and effective and it has no adverse effect. That's the worst thing you can do. They did it 6 times. They have to adjudicate them in series. We could have to do it in batches, like batch cooking for your week's work. They can't do it individually. We can't try Pfizer one offence at a time, beer all day. Just get in their latest batch and give them the smallest manageable fine. So it's back to business, baby. 95% effective. Yet the consequences to Pfizer and the individuals concerned continue to be derisory. This hopeless system of regulation for a multi-billion-dollar life and death industry has become a sham in dire need of reform. And is there a political party in your country right now that's saying it's going to deliver that reform? Is there anyone campaigning for president in your country or leadership of a major nation like our one that's going, do you know what? We're on this stuff. Let me tell you, that's not happening no more. Of course they're not, because they're funded in the same way. They have the same affinities, the same affiliations. Maybe Bobby Kennedy in your country, maybe Donald Trump. You tell me in the chat. But in our country, they're all like, oh, don't worry about it. Here's another fine, crack on. This is the way that it works. We know it's the way that it works. I'm not telling you anything new, but I am telling you something important. And if you ever forget how important it is, have a look at that girl again in hospital and remind yourself that this is not just some, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm moved on from that. And if you are tired and you took that shot, maybe you should look into the reasons why you're feeling so tired all the time. Hey, but that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and chat. If you enjoyed this, have a look at this and this. Remember, click the link, support our movement, because we are determined to change the world together. Stay free. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.